Hey guys, Gary with Door Closers USA. Today we're going to look at the Hager 4601 rim panic exit device and how to install it. We're going to go over the installation guide and take a look at all of the details regarding installation. Okay guys, so here's the Hager 4601 rim panic bar. So for installation, what you want to first do is just locate the installation guide. Now this particular unit comes with templates, which makes it extremely easy. But we're going to go ahead and take a in-depth look at the installation manual and go over anything. So basically, when it comes to these rim panic bars, our application are really going to be single door applications. These are non-handed, but it shows you the different configurations you can utilize this on. So you have right hand reverse or left hand reverse, basically left or right hand doors. And we're going to be mounting them on the push side of the door. So one SKU gives you left or right. They're non-handed. So just taking a look at this, here are the other applications you can utilize it for. You could do it with the rim panic bar with a trim, like a lever trim here. So it shows that there, and it's actually showing this on a glass door. So you can see that. And then over here, it's showing it on, well, it looks like a glass door as well. Rim panic bar with the outside lever trim. Things to note is it's specifying what type of strike to use depending on your frame. So on this glass door frame here, this looks like sort of a traditional fin stop storefront door frame. You can see it's kind of flat, and then there's that little fin stop right here. Those are usually sort of the cheaper storefront doors, but that's the strike you would use on that model is the 4950. Whereas on this model here, it has more of the standard rabbit type of door frame. And then it's saying on this one, you could just use the 4920 standard strike. So just something to note. And then if you're doing a mullion, there's the type of strike you can utilize there. Okay, and then here it's also showing kind of the configuration of this panic bar and how the head cover comes off and the end caps. When you receive it, as you can see, there's the chassis head with the latch bolt, and then the end cap is off, but it does come with all the hardware such as the shims and the roller strike. And then there it's describing what tools you want to utilize. So the first step it's asking you is to mark the door, and it's calling for 40 inches off of the finished floor. So obviously if you're doing a new installation, this is going to be crucial, but if you're doing a replacement, like you're just trying to replace the 4601, obviously you could just unbolt and put the new one on. And then here it is, mark and drill and tap the holes as shown. Let's see here for the strike. And this is showing the fin stop sort of installation. You can see the frame type there. So most people will be doing hollow metal frames. So let me see if there's it is right here, the hollow metal frame installation. So it looks like it's right on the stop itself. You mount it right there. It gives you the measurements here off of the face. And then let me see here. And then for the actual height location of it, if you utilize this, the template is what's going to be crucial here. So this is, let's make sure here. Yeah, there's the strike there. And center line, it looks like, is what they're calling for 40 inches. So as long as you line up this template, the center line at 40 inches off of the floor, you'll have good alignment for everything. And it even tells you here, fold along this dotted line, place this side on frame, place this side on door. So this thing could really save you some time here if you're looking at doing a new installation. And then I believe this template here is just the fin stop frame. Let's make sure, kind of that cheaper storefront frame. Let me see. Yeah, the fin stop frame there, you can tell. So that's that application. So it comes with both. And I believe too, this strike is essentially, I believe it's the same, but Let me look here. Let's see here. Okay, here's the strike. 4950 blade stop strike application. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like this is the piece you're going to use if you go with the storefront fin stop style strike installation. And then if you go with just the standard hollow metal frame installation, you're just going to use the roller strike itself. So it comes with everything to install both, you know, on both applications, which is very nice. So just going through the instructions some more here, let's take another look. That's another application. Pretty versatile product here. Okay, then it's showing you mounting it to the door itself. There's the end cap. And then if you have an exit trim, you could utilize that as well. And there's how the end cap screws on there. So yeah, the biggest thing, guys, about these is, at least I get a ton of calls after people buy them, is this roller strike here, or sorry, not the roller strike, is this dead latch here. So the dead latch, if this is, when this is door is shut and depressed, this is depressed against that strike, it will not come down, the latch bolt. So it's a security feature. But a lot of times people say, oh, I installed it and the thing's not working. They always have trouble with this part here. The trick to it is, if you look at this roller strike, what you want to do is you want to have that skinny dead latch part, the skinny piece right here. You want to make sure that that's, when the door is shut, it's depressed on one of these ramps. So see that ramp, how it's sort of beveled there or angled there? That's where the dead latch needs to be. If it's anywhere else, it's going to cause you issues. And I believe they even show that in the manual here, but a lot of people don't catch it. But that could save you a ton of time here. Let me see. You know, it might actually show it on the template. Yeah, I don't think it shows it on the this part of the manual, but if you look at the template, so let's pull up the template here. So there's the dead latch right there, and if you line that up, you see how it's even with this? So here's the roller strike there. See if I can move this out of the way for you guys. Let me move this. Okay. So here's your roller strike here. Let me see here. Let me see if it shows it here. It does. I mean, it shows it a little. It's the top view. Yeah, it shows it a little, but essentially what you want to do is you want the dead latch to be on this angled part. That's the trick to it. If you can line it up with that angled part, you'll be just fine. It's if your panic bar is off a little and the dead latch is above or below it, then it's not going to work. So that's just something to keep in mind there in terms of installation. It's a common question I get a ton of. In fact, I might even do a separate video on it so you guys can get a better look at that, but just a quick tip. So that wraps up how to install a Hager 4601 rim panic bar. You can use this on a hollow metal door, a commercial wood door with hollow metal frame, storefront narrow style door because it is so narrow, the chassis head. So very versatile, all available at doorclosersusa.com. If you guys have any more questions, let me know. Or if you want to see me install it on one of our metal doors, let me know, or our storefront doors. Comment below. Thanks, guys.